Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and this is the top five. This is something that we've done here at the Worst Case Scenario podcast in the past before, and today we have decided to bring it back and do a weekly segment like this to where we can kind of cut it down to an under 30-minute podcast. I know we're putting out so much different content, but we're trying to make people happy. But anyway, I am your guest. I'm your host as normal, Phil. With me is my other two co-hosts. Bennett, say what up.
Goodbye, Eberflus.
D'Lo, say what up.
Yo.
All right. And we are here just to talk about top five. And I'm getting ready to bring it up now because we got some good things going on. So just give me a second. How you guys feel about that poll coming out tonight?
Well, what's the poll?
D'Lo, you got talking to your phone, bud.
What's the poll, man?
The college football polls tonight.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, some of the things that happened last week could definitely have some big implications on this poll. So,
definitely. All right, boys, we're going to start off with, once I say go, we're going to have 5 minutes to talk about this, and then we're going to stop talking about it. That's how it goes here, ladies and gentlemen. We got 5 topics. We're going to do them in 5 minutes.
We'll see.
Yeah, we're going to attempt to anyway. But I haven't started the old counter yet. But we're going to start out with Al Shahir and his hit on Trevor Lawrence. You guys, we're going to talk about what happened with it, and if you guys agree or disagree with how the NFL and other teams are treating this. So that's how we're gonna roll with it. And let's go. I got the timer set up. So when I hit start, man, I'm going to go to one of you guys. Bennett, start it off, bud.
All right. So the hit itself, I think, was not clean. I think it was dirty. I think the intention was there. It's just not something you want in any aspect of any game, whether it be college, pros, whatever. I actually felt really strongly about this. And I actually brought up probably at that moment in time the way I was feeling in my gut after I watched it and then watched what happened afterwards. I think the Jaguars defending him was the right thing to do. But like DeMeco Ryans, I probably would have went out there and told that dude, hey, take your ass to the locker room, quit causing trouble. And while you're back there, pack your shit out of your locker because you're not playing for my team anymore.
Oh, so you're taking it as so you think he did it on purpose?
I think he did. I definitely know he did it on purpose, but at the same time, I don't want that represented by my team.
All right, interesting. D'Lo, what's your take on this?
well, I'll tell you what, man. I haven't ever heard of anybody calling Al Shahir a dirty player. I do believe that he could have pulled up on that. And he remained low and he cracked Trevor Lawrence. So it was a dirty hit, but I don't think this is who he is as a player. And I don't know, man. I mean, things got way out of hand. I understand the Jaguars defending their franchise quarterback and things like that, but things got way out of hand and emotions just flowed over in that situation. It seemed to have happened a lot this week, including college football, but it just things were wild, man. So he got suspended 3 games. I think that's a fair punishment. And I just, my thing about it is I don't know. I don't think he's a dirty player, man. I think 3 games is a fair punishment.
That's what I was going to say. Do you think that, Bennett, do you think that the 3 games is fair, or do you think there should have been more or less?
I mean, first infraction for what that was, I think 3 games was fair. Definitely fining. But at the same time, keep your eye on a guy like that.
Well, yeah, definitely. You don't want to
do
play
shit
like
that all the time. Then get rid of a motherfucker out of your league. You don't want that in your league.
I believe that 3 games was every bit of fair. He's gonna get a fine, I imagine, and I think it's well deserved. He led with the shoulder. I don't think he's a dirty player. Well, he doesn't have the reputation, I believe, as a dirty player. But I believe that he did lead with the shoulder. Maybe he was trying to make a play. Maybe he was sick of I don't even know if they were winning at the time or what it was there, but you know what I'm saying? It's hard to tell. I think that they were up actually. So then it's just one of those things
Well, I
where
mean,
why to do it, but he's trying to make a play.
if you look at the play in real time, Trevor Lawrence and that Al Shahir were running at each other. Trevor Lawrence decided to slide, and instead of lifting up, the Al Shahir decided to crack him. Well, it wasn't a helmet to helmet hit. It was shoulder to shoulder, and the concussion came from Trevor Lawrence's head bouncing off the ground, not the helmet to helmet. So I don't know. I've seen Burfict. He was a dirty player. He intentionally targeted people, and I don't feel like that's what happened here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess the punishment fits the crime, and you know he's gonna miss 3 games. The Texans are probably gonna need him. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I'm okay with it. All right. It was under a minute, guys. Anything else you guys want to add on that?
Just watch out for him in the future.
Yeah, I mean, if he gets a second infraction of this, man, then they really need to start thinking about like a possible ban for sure. I mean, it's not something you want in the game, but you know, I mean, things happen. It's a very fast game, so he needs to be working on that pulling up when somebody slides in front of him rather than taking the hit. You know, so
I agree. I agree 100%. All right. Let's see. We'll move next on to the Dodgers have $1 billion deferred currently in baseball. That is a shocking amount. So basically what it is that the Dodgers have deferred payments of $1 billion to 7 different players. That's what I would like to talk about. I'm getting ready to I'll hit it now. D'Lo, give me your opinion on this.
I think that baseball has a Dodgers problem right now. I think that the Dodgers have figured out a system to pretty much load their team up with all-star players, and these players are okay with accepting a couple $1 million a year for, 10 years or whatever it is, and then at the end of that time, they're going to get $200 million handed to them or something like that. These deferred payments, it's just something that I think that baseball is probably going to have to ban because they don't have a hard cap, and so the Dodgers have figured out a way to basically load their roster with nothing but all-stars. It's ridiculous what's going on in baseball right now.
Okay, Bennett. So basically what this breaks down to is they just signed Blake Snell, a pitcher. They signed him to a $182 million contract. All right. It includes $66 million in deferred money payable to the pitcher through July 1st, 2046. They also signed Tommy Edman, to a $74 million 5-year deal that includes $25 million in payable money to the outfielder, infielder through July 1st, 2044. That is insane. Tell me what you think about that, D'Lo.
Hold on, let me touch on that.
Yeah, I meant that, Bennett. Go ahead, bud.
So right from the jump, this has stuck out to me, and you guys, I'm not the biggest baseball fan compared to you guys, but this is what sticks out to me so much compared to baseball. The next would be basketball and then football. Is baseball is so fucking backfucked. It's backfucked. It leads into one team having a better chance to win championships, to be in better positions. The Dodgers, the Yankees have proven that. And this has been years on end coming. With what you're saying to me is these guys are paying for all-star talent that they don't have to pay for the next they will have to pay for it, but they don't have to pay for it for 20 years. So if they keep winning championships and keep getting popular, that money's going to keep coming in. It's not going to be a big deal to them why they just keep stacking their roster. And that is insane to me that you would let that go on in your league. Somebody should have put a stop to this shit 20 years ago.
there's a tax in the there's not really a what is that called in the NFL? That's called
It's called a hard
salary.
cap, but yeah, it's a hard cap, a salary cap, but
Salary cap.
there's
Baseball doesn't
a
really have one.
they have a
But
luxury tax.
yeah, it's like a threshold of money that you go over in it, and they hit you with a fee. Well, most of these teams can just pay that fee, so they don't care. Like they went over it by 2-3 times the amount that you're supposed to. They'll pay the fee. They don't care.
It makes it where it's not fair, and it makes it at the end of the day not competitive. Nobody wants to watch a fucking sport like that.
And well, guys, here's also too. I'll go ahead and tell you this. In telling you, Snell and Edman both add to that list, but also on that list is Ohtani, who was due $680 million from 2034 through 2043 as part of his $700 million 10-year contract he signed.
And here's the thing, man, is the Dodgers are backed, their ownership groups are a bunch of billionaires, so they can afford to pay over that luxury tax. But somebody like an Oakland A's, which they're getting ready to move, they're going to eventually be the Las Vegas A's or whatever. But a smaller market team like that, they can't afford that shit. So, like Bennett said, it makes it to where it's not even competitive, man. That there is no.
And it cracks down your sport.
Yeah, big time, man. I mean, when you got one team dominating all the time, man, like like you said, Bennett, the Yankees did it for years. It's just insane, man. I think it's piss poor with Rob Manfred, who's running the baseball, to allow this shit to happen.
Well, here's the next thing. Here's the next thing: conspiracy theory. So if these people sign this contract, they don't get paid for another 15, 20 years. That money goes to the next of kin.
Yeah, because it's they put it in a like an escrow account. They have to put so much money into an escrow account onto that, but they
so if you're a billionaire and you suddenly Ohtani dies in a car crash and his next closest relatives die in plane crashes, car crashes, because these guys got billions of dollars to hire a hitman and like I said, a conspiracy theory. But are you getting into something shit like that now? Because these guys have billions of dollars to do that shit.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because the contract's guaranteed. So somebody's getting
it. Who? To a charity that they set up for themselves at the end of the fucking day?
Dude, it doesn't matter if it's his 10th generation down the line. If that's the next of kin, that's who it is.
Well, just some of the other people they have Mookie Betts. He's owed $115 million from 33 to 2044. You have Freddie Freeman, who's owed $57 million from 2028 to 2040. You have Will Smith, their catcher, who's due $50 million payable from 34 to 2043. So I mean, they have a lot of money out there to those guys, but
you basically fucked you in your sport until 2045. To where what we're saying is put a stop to this now, and you can't even do that now. You got to wait until 2045 to put a stop to this shit and make your sport competitive again.
Yeah, but I mean, it's guaranteed. So I mean, it's what it is. They gotta put a luxury tax.
Baseball could fix this though, man. They could come in and say no more deferred contracts from this point on, and. I mean, yeah, the Dodgers may get a couple championships, but those guys are going to get old fast, man.
Sure, like but you're still
guys. We got to move on. That was 5 minutes, man. We got to
fuck that shit. If they put a salary cap on that fucking thing right now, then they can do it. But they got to wait until 2043 was the last number I heard you say, and that's baseball is going to be trash until then.
2043, yeah.
Yeah, so stop it right now. Stop it next year.
All right, guys. On the next topic, Mike Holmgren and Sharp and Shanahan, Football Hall of Fame. Two of them
Hey, bud. Hey, Phil.
Yeah.
Phil, you're cutting out real bad, man. We can't even hear you.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So Michael, two finalists by the coaches committee.
He sounds like Max Heterin.
Yeah, he
But-
does, dude.
You saw the two coaches being finalists and Shannon Sharp. Let me hear from you, D'Lo.
So it's Mike Holmgren, Shannon Sharp, and who was the other one?
Mike Shanahan.
Yes.
Mike Shanahan. I mean, I you know, they're all pretty solid. Shanahan got his Super Bowls at the end of his career, and I think Holmgren got one in Green Bay. I don't think he ever won one in Seattle. I think it was Pete Carroll that got the one in Seattle.
That's right.
And Shannon Sharp, I mean, he doesn't have the stats, but he got injured, man. I mean, the dude was solid.
Not
and
Shannon
it
Sharp.
seemed,
Not Shannon.
or not
Sharp.
Shannon.
Sterling
Not
Sharp.
Shannon. Sterling, yeah. He has he doesn't have the stats, but he got injured, and it was a career-ending injury. But I just don't like putting guys in based on the thought that they would be great for years to come. You know what I mean? Like they did that with Terrell Davis. And I just don't like doing that, man. I think it kind of waters down the Hall of Fame.
Bennett, do you not think that Sterling Sharp is a Hall of Fame material receiver?
No, I do. And his career got cut short, as D'Lo said. I don't know if this is true, and I can't get on here to Google while we're on. But I believe he was the first NFL receiver to catch 100 passes in a season. I think it was really quickly broken by a Chris Carter, like the next season or the season after that, with 101. But I think Sterling Sharp was the first player to catch 100 receptions.
He caught 108 he had 108 catches for 1,461 yards and 13 touchdowns in 1992. He broke his own record with 112 catches in 93 and led the NFL with 18 receptions in his final season, 94, before a neck injury cut it short.
Yeah, so that's a big deal to me. I grew up watching Sterling Sharp. He was an awesome receiver. The one that stands out, though, is Shanahan, not because of so much of the 2 Super Bowls. He did get those. Give him credit for that. But he changed the game. Where Mike Holmgren came from a coaching tree of Bill Walsh, Shanahan started his own coaching tree.
Yeah. Shanahan won 2 rings, right?
I think Shanahan actually came from Bill Walsh, too.
All right, but Holmgren got 1 ring. Are we going to put Holmgren in there just because he won that? Or, like, do you think that both of these coaches are Hall of Fame worthy?
I mean, do we got to pick 2 out of 3?
No, they're a finalist in the coaching thing. So
why
it's
is
weird.
Sterling Sharp being brought up?
Because he got picked by the veterans,
The senior committee.
senior
The senior committee.
So he hadn't got it voted in by like his peers. So it's like he's on his last legs, I believe, because he's been retired since '94. So we're talking about 20 years.
Who's Sterling?
Yeah.
Put him in, man.
All right. But is Holmgren? You think Holmgren is?
No, I'd take Shanahan over Holmgren. Holmgren was good. He was good. I'm not knocking him, but I think Shanahan made
Yeah,
more.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I think Holmgren's more borderline than Shanahan. I think Shanahan definitely should probably go ahead and get pushed through.
All right. We got to go with the next one. And the next thing is NFL, or we saw what happened with the NFL with that hit. If that followed what we saw over the weekend with college football and the planting of the flag and players fighting. Now, me and D'Lo covered this a little bit on the college podcast that we did on the College Game Day. Bennett didn't get a chance. He wanted to talk about this. So, Bennett, go ahead and lead it off. let's talk about these fights.
I have no clue what you guys said, but here's how I feel about it. Okay, so there's a part of me that says if I beat you, I can plant my flag in your field. There's another part of me that says, look, man, I don't mind fighting you heads up or rivals, but if you knock me out, don't piss on my face too.
I mean,
You know what I
that's
mean?
kind of yeah.
So I feel like it shouldn't be allowed for you to do stuff like that. You remember that brings me back to like something that I seen in my youth. T.O. scored a touchdown after he left the Niners or after he left the Cowboys and running out on the star. Is that what it was? Oh, it was the Eagles. He
No,
ran
you're
out on
right.
the star. He ran out on the star and put the ball down. And he did it again in the same game, and the Cowboys were not having no part of it. They came up and fucking cracked him. And I mean, look, don't do shit like that.
That is something that me and D'Lo did talk about the other day. Definitely.
Yeah, don't do shit like, and they shouldn't be allowed to. If you want to come out and wave your flag around on the other team's field, fine. Don't go plant it in the center of the fucking field. I think that's a little bit too much. Like you said earlier about the Jacksonville game, high emotions and all that shit. But look, give these guys guidelines. Don't let the fucking animals off the chain. These guys are wild ass college kids. We know what it was like. We weren't college kids. We were wild in our 20s. You let us just do what the fuck we want. We're probably gonna burn your house down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like, so you see it as disrespectful, Bennett?
I see it a little bit as disrespectful. I just see it as more like as be respectful. I mean, teach these kids some. I don't know. Own up to your actions. Be responsible. Don't be a fuckhead. You know what I mean? Don't do that to somebody. You don't need to do that. You already won the game. You don't need to go plant your flag in the middle of their field.
Yeah. D'Lo, you got anything you want to add in on that?
No, I mean, I honestly I would echo a lot of what Bennett said. The only thing that I would add to that is it goes to show it kind of shows the discipline of the program, man. Like you brought up, Phil. NIU, who was an FCS team, got a big win over Notre Dame this year, and you didn't see them acting like that, man. It's because their coach had a handle on it, and them players knew how to act, even in the big moment. You know what I mean? And that goes to the discipline of the program and everything that the coach instills in the program. So
I agree. All right. We'll head into our last topic, and it's a good one. And I know Bennett isn't big about talking a whole lot of politics on here, and this isn't in the world of sports, but me and Delos talked about it. We talk about it on here. Joe Biden, after months and months of saying he would not pardoned his son yesterday. And he didn't just pardon him for the things that he was found guilty on. He gave him a blanket pardon, which goes 11 years back. So if in the future they find something else that they want to charge him with, if it's within that 11 years, they cannot charge him. D'Lo, what do you think about this?
No. Hold on, D'Lo. I want Phil to tell us what he thinks about it.
Okay. Now listen, if it was, and me and D'Lo talked about this, we would have done the same thing that Biden did. If it was our kid and we have a chance to stop him from going to prison, we're going to pardon him too. So I mean, I'm not blaming him that. I would have never said in all the interviews and had other people stating from the rooftops that he was not going to pardon his son when he knew he was. I wouldn't have said that. When they would have asked me about it, I'd have been talking about practice or whatever. I would have brought up anything but that. I would not sit there and tell the American people I'm not going to do something and then turn around and do it. So I understood why he did it, and I do it for my kid too. But what makes him look bad is that he constantly said, "I will not," and then he turned around and did it. But he didn't just give a pardon. It's like he knew there's more going on, or there could be more charges because he knows what was happening over there. And so I feel like that's why he gave him a blanket for this year to this year. And in the future, if they ever find something, they cannot charge him with it because he's pardoned for any crimes that he did. If he murdered somebody, he's pardoned. So, D'Lo, what do you think about this?
It goes back to the old Mike Tyson saying that everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. You know, Joe Biden's plan was to not have to pardon Hunter Biden because he thought that the Democrats were still going to control the House and the Congress, and they were going to, you know,
Harris was going to get elected.
Yeah, yep. And so he thought there wasn't going to be no issues there. But as soon as the Republicans got control of the House and the Congress, and then Trump got elected, he knew, man. He knew what time it was. And he was like, the only way that I'm going to get him out of this from doing any kind of prison time is to give him a full pardon. So,
Bennett, what's your intake on this?
Well, I really appreciate you guys both being honest about this and saying if it was your kid, you'd done the same thing, because
absolutely,
there's no way if I'm in the same position, I'm not going to pardon Gabe. If it comes down to murder or some crazy shit like that, I don't know. Maybe your fucking emotions get involved. Maybe you fucking start thinking about like what happened to other people, and like, hey, dude, maybe you should pay for this. It's really hard when it's your kid, but goddamn, there's moralities to society, and trust me, you're talking to the most immoral person I've ever met in my life. But, I probably would have done the same thing as long as it was a little bit of bullshit and like drugs and stuff like that. But when it comes down to murder or something like that,
no, we don't know if it is murder. It wasn't.
Well, I'm just saying. I brought that up, and that's what I want to add to it. If my daddy was president, if that motherfucker knew who the fuck I was, he wouldn't pardon me for 11 years back. He pardoned me till I was 3 years old. He's like, oh, that motherfucker did a lot of shit. He did a lot of shit. This motherfucker
gets the first generational pardon. They're pardoning back generations before him. But shit.
Yeah, I couldn't keep track of him. He was all over the place. I don't know what he did, but I know it wasn't good. So,
I mean, I agree.
Cover all bases.
I agree that with D'Lo saying that. I don't know if he knew all along. Like, I think he knew all along that he wasn't gonna pardon, or he wasn't gonna not pardon his son. But he had to tell him what he had to tell him. But he probably really did think Kamala's going to get in and she's going to do it for me, so I didn't have to. Yeah. But then once Trump won, he was like, fuck, they're going to come after him. But they're only coming after him for the legit shit that he did. So, and he did it on camera. When you're waving around a loaded gun with a hooker and smoking crack while you're butt-ass naked and you're filming it, like, come on, man.
My big question is,
like, I don't see a problem here.
Who hasn't done that? What is the guy guilty of? What the fuck, man?
Well, technically, what they found
like him guilty of. Bennett.
Yeah,
sounds like your typical Saturday night.
Well, technically, it's because he lied on the application for the handgun and said that he wasn't on drugs and he was on crack.
Well, I mean, dude, there's a lot of shit that led to Hunter Biden. I mean, there's 25 million
for, though.
Yeah, but there's $25 million coming in, being wired into an account from Chinese businessmen. Yep. Like, there's a lot of shit out there, dude. So they're just trying to. They were just trying to pin what was going to say.
They were going to come down.
Yeah.
This is just one celebrity of a politician's son, just so happens to be the president of the United States, that got caught with his pants down. His daddy bailed him out. But man, guys, this is what I always tell you when we talk about politics. So I don't like talking about politics. If you looked at all these motherfuckers, there's a lot more dirt on
Oh,
all
yeah,
them
for sure.
Oh yeah,
motherfuckers.
yeah.
Hey,
For
and I'm
sure.
talking about hooligans like me, you, and D-Lo. There's a lot more dirt, and they've done a lot more dirtier shit in their life than we ever could think of.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. He just
And dude, here's
Dylan.
the one thing, dude.
So if you want to
Fucking,
blame Joe Biden, fine. If you want to blame Hunter Biden, fine. I'm just saying, there's a fucking 1,000 more people sitting behind that line. I'm talking about right now with Trump shit. Not knocking Trump, but with Trump shit, there's 1,000 more motherfucking people that deserve to go to prison for life.
yeah.
ain't no doubt about it. You know, and
They're all
hopefully
crooked,
some of
bro.
them
They
start.
don't care about us. They don't
Hopefully
about
some
us.
of them start to get exposed. But here's the thing. I think with doing this and everybody knowing that Biden was not only doing this to keep his son from going to prison, but also to cover up some of the shit that he had going on, I think that Biden's like he's gonna fade off, and I think that the whole Biden thing period's just gonna fade off. They're gonna act like this wasn't even a point in American history at some,
The 46th president is going to be erased from history.
yeah, basically.
Yeah. All right, guys. That was our 5 minutes, man. And that was our top 5. Anything you guys want to add before we get up here?
Nope. Everybody just keep your eyes peeled for them polls tonight, man. We'll jump on here tomorrow to update you guys on and give our opinion on what we think of it. But other than that, man, just fucking, big sports week always. Right now, wintertime seems to be the time when so much sports is going on. Also, one thing that we didn't talk about, me and Phil are big fans of Tyson Fury. It's been kind of going under the radar that fight is this month.
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a rematch.
So he's fighting. Yeah. So
Usyk. Yeah, it's gonna be big. Bennett, anything you want to throw in there?
Just what we should. Hey guys, like, subscribe, share, do what you can. Put this content out to your friends. Hey, it's all good humor. We do try to put some intelligent content out there too, but it's just a couple of idiots, talking sports and having a good time. And at the end of the day, goodbye, Eberflus.
and yeah, and also if you guys want to if you want us to leave politics out of the topics, throw it in the comments. Let us know, man. If you guys don't want us to talk politics and shit, we're cool with that too, man. Because really, we don't like getting into it too much, like publicly anyway. So
Phil will probably try to put it in more if you do that.
Shut up. All right, that's all. And this has been Worst Case Scenario Top 5.
Goodbye, Eberflus.
there you go.